Welcome to Online Philosophy. This week we're going to study Aristotle. Plato was pretty abstract. His disciple Aristotle was more practical. In fact, it is often said that Aristotle brought philosophy down to earth. While Plato's forms were independently existing, non-spatial, non-temporal somethings, Aristotle's form is something more practical. You probably already know what it is. Bertrand Russell said, Aristotle is Plato diluted by common sense. Aristotle was born in Greece in a town called Stagira in 384 BC. It's a Greek colony in Thrace, which is the country, and Macedonia, which is the region. Aristotle was the son of a physician. His father was court physician to King Amyntas III of Macedonia. Amyntas was the father of Philip II, and Philip II was the father of Alexander the Great. The medical trade was passed from father to son, as was normal, and Aristotle learned 200 years of medical knowledge from his father. He learned the therapies of diet, drugs, and exercise. He learned how to check the flow of blood, how to bandage wounds, how to splint broken bones, and as would turn out to be quite helpful later, he learned anatomy and dissection. He studied when Greece was at the cusp of medical knowledge. Hippocrates, the great father of medicine, died when Aristotle was 14. Aristotle entered the academy at 18 and studied for 20 years. Plato called him the mind and the reader because of his great intellect and his love for books. Plato humorously divided the academy into two parts, the student body and the brain of Aristotle. And he remarked that while most students needed a whip, Aristotle needed a bridle. Aristotle left the academy after the death of Plato, and we don't really know why, but there are a couple of theories. The first theory is that he was angry that he was passed over as master of the academy. He was the premier student, and he expected to be promoted, but he was a foreigner and he was forbidden to hold property. The second theory is that there was growing anti-Macedonian attitudes among the Athenians. Philip II sacked the Greek city of Olynthus in 348, which was the year that Plato died, and Philip II sold many Athenians into slavery to finance his wars. So Aristotle left Athens for 12 years. He became the advisor to King Hermaeus, a former student of the academy, but more properly he was a vassal of Persia than a king. He was a warrior who had acquired control of Troad, a city in northwest Asia Minor. Aristotle had hoped that he could transform him into a philosopher king, but Hermaeus was eventually crucified by the Persians and Aristotle lost his opportunity. Next, he was invited to tutor the future Alexander the Great in 343. Alexander was just 13. Here was a true opportunity to create a philosopher king. He remained until Philip II's death in 336, and Alexander became king. Alexander sent Aristotle to his hometown Stagira to create a code of laws and to rebuild a city devastated by war. In 334, Aristotle returned to Athens and founded his academy known as the Lyceum. This will be a very interesting week in philosophy. I hope you have a good time.